Well, look at that. Guys, we're live. What's up, everyone? Aaron Negler with Cheesehead TV coming to you live on Thursday morning, the morning of the virtual shareholders meeting. Can't you feel the excitement? Mark Murphy and a bunch of executives via Zoom. Come on. Now, obviously, hopefully we'll have the annual general manager presentation on the football side of things, and that's always exciting. But after that, it's a... But it'd be good to hear from the fine folks at 1265 Lombardi, and it's always great to hear from the fine folks in the comment section on Cheesehead TV. How are you? What's good, everybody? All the regulars are here. Boggs, Big B, Frank, Stu, what's up? Old Timer Dave, Bayou Cheesehead. What's up, Bayou Cheesehead? Morning from Louisiana. Well, good morning from New York City. A heads up, fair warning. Literally had my power go out for about a minute earlier this morning. Literally, as I was just about to get on the radio, had to jump on the phone. So if the stream stops, I apologize. New York City is in the grips of a heat wave, and there are rolling power outages at certain pockets of the city. And I think it just hit me this morning for a little bit. So I apologize if I go down, but hopefully we'll be fine. Good to see everybody. How are you? Amar, what's up, buddy? You're here live. Thanks for joining me. Good morning. Go Pack Go. Baseball is back today. Mark, it is indeed. But is it really until the Brewers play on Friday? Really? I mean, I would posit the case no. No, it's nice that there are other teams playing tonight, today, what have you. But it doesn't really matter until we see Yelich, who went yard last night against the Sox. See him on Friday, baby. Come on. That's what I'm talking about. Ann is here. Look at this. Got all the regulars. What is up? How are we doing? Spencer with a hard-hitting question right off the bat. Is the Dean Lowry extension looking like a mistake? It looked like a mistake the moment they announced it. We weren't expecting that, were you? Yeah, I never understood why they extended him the way they did. Never got paying him when I understand locking up your own, but he's a lunch pail guy, and I really appreciate his contributions, but I didn't think there was any need to get out ahead of that one, especially at that price. But we'll see. I mean, his play definitely took a step back last year. I don't think any reasonable observer would posit anything other than that. But hopefully he rounds back into shape this year, and it gives him a little bit more against the run. He's never really known as a pass rusher, obviously, but just a little bit more disruptive up front. Because he was 2 years ago. He played hella well in 2018, which is obviously why they gave him the extension. But yeah, there was a 1 or 2 game stretch last year where he played really well, held up really well, especially against the run. But for the most part, it was a very disappointing campaign. So yeah, I would never understood paying him, especially the 1-2 punch of paying Dean Lowry and cutting Mike Daniels was a bit tough to swallow. But yeah, we'll see. Hopefully he redeems himself this year, so to speak. Brewers are overrated. Andy, get out. Just get out. Who cares? Dude, they could go 0-60. I don't care. It's Brewers baseball. Bob Uecker's on the radio. That is all that matters. Overrate this. So I got to say to that. Okay, George, don't come up here trying to be cute about Chelsea. I don't want to hear it. All right. Congrats to Liverpool. No, carry on your way. Will no preseason this year extend Rodgers' expected time for the Packers? No, not at all. What's up, Nags? What's up, Joseph? How you doing? Who's going to be the star of whatever the hell training camp looks like this year? Mark, that's a really good question. I think some of the rookies might get a shot to shine because I think they'll be given lots of reps because they got to get them ready, right? So maybe, hopefully, A.J. Dillon. Let's say Dillon or DeGuara. That's what I'll say. Danny, thank you so much for the super chat. From Nova Scotia, what's up? Of course I've heard of Nova Scotia. I'm from Wisconsin. Get up north quite a bit. Thanks for your dedication. Thank you, Danny. 1+ to less fans at Lambeau. No bitter old fans sitting and not cheering. Got a warning that it isn't etiquette to cheer unless the person in front of you does. Oh, man, just ignore all that noise. Anybody who tells you to sit down in a Lambo can be safely ignored. Now, and I know there are a lot of them, so it's hard to do it, but man, cheer your head off. Get crazy. It don't matter. But yes, there will be less fuddy-duddy old heads, bitter old maids telling you to sit down. No doubt about it. And I say old maid to cover all fans, not just females, so just save your letters. All right. Zimmer's seat wasn't hot at all, apparently. Javier, I disagree. You notice how we don't have any kind of particulars on the extension yet. I suspect, heading into a lame duck year, that this is very similar to the extensions that were given to one Mike Sherman and Mike McCarthy as they were heading into lame duck years before they got fired. That's just guesswork on my part. Now, they could turn it around. Maybe they win the division and go on a deep playoff run, and then, they're off to the races. But we'll see. We'll see. A few more years of Zimmer giving LaFleur bitter handshakes after getting his ass kicked. Sign me up. I'm all in. I will never, ever, ever, ever stop tweeting out that video. I love it so much. Who's the vet that benefits from the weird cluster of a season? David Bakhtiari, probably. You saw how he really needed time to round into shape last year. I think with everybody coming into the regular season kind of on a quick ramp up, so to speak, I think that affords David, doesn't need to round into shape because everyone's going to be kind of scrambling. And I think you look at guys like maybe some of the bigger body guys on both sides of the ball, but especially on the defensive side, maybe a Tyler Lancaster, hopefully a Kingsley Keke. Maybe that affords them a little less wear and tear, gives them some fresher legs as the year goes on. Nathan, thanks for the super chat. I agree with the Love pick, but I got to think every Packers GM listens to Johnny Cash's hurt every time after speaking to their older quarterbacks. That super chat was a journey, and I applaud you for it and salute you. Let's see. Frank, did you ever have the pleasure of tipping a couple cold ones with Fuzzy Thurston? I loved Fuzzy, a true Packer ambassador. I did not. I have been to his bar in Green Bay, but I never had the pleasure of drinking with the man. I did meet him once, but never got to have a few, which would have been great. Top Jair play, I like the one against the Vikings when he pushes both of their wide receivers into each other. George, that was my favorite play of 2018. I stated as much on Twitter. I love it. And, of course, butthurt Vikings fans always come back with, oh, yeah, but it was in a loss. It's like, yeah, I don't care. The game's over, In the vacuum of a play-by-play, each play taken individually, that is my favorite play. I love it so much. Are you a Packer shareholder, Aaron? Why, yes, Ryan. Yes, I am, and I will be watching the virtual Packer shareholder meeting being held later this afternoon, or right at noon my time. I believe it's 11 a.m. Eastern Central. Any preference you have on having the defensive coordinator on the sidelines versus in the booth? If I were the defensive coordinator, I'd probably want to be in the booth, but I understand from what we've heard from Mike Pettin about wanting to be on the field. Yeah, I think obviously both can work. We've seen really good play callers do both, and whatever works for you. So, I mean, myself, again, I would want to be up in the booth, being able to look at coverages, look at route combinations, see what they're trying to do to you, etc. I just prefer that bird's eye view. That's just me. Travis, well, that's a hard-hitting question right here. How many beers do you average at a game? See, now these are different answers for different environments. So at the game itself, like if I go to Lambeau Field as a fan, sitting in the bleachers, I will have, 2 or 3 before the game. I will have no beers during the game, maybe one at halftime, maybe. And then I'll drink like 25 after the game. But during the game, I don't drink a lot in the stands because A, I don't want to leave. I don't want to get up. B, I don't want to have to go to the bathroom during, like, if things get exciting, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to be having to go and wait in line. I know they got TVs, but I don't want to miss it, blah, blah, blah. Now, watching a game at home or in the studio, probably like 15 to 20, depending. I don't know. A lot. A lot of Rodgers' sacks last year were due to him misreading the hot side of the pass rush, having the back on alert, on a nickel, etc. How can Rodgers better find and communicate better pass pro. Well, I would just caution assuming those things. Now, there are certain moments like the third down against the Bears where Khalil Mack comes free. Now, obviously, that's not a nickel blitz. That's, slide protection. Balaga pinches in. The free man is on the quarterback, and he's got to read that. And there's no back, so he's not afforded the ability to put it. So that's an obvious, thing. And I asked LaFleur about it after the game. Or actually on the Monday after the game. And, there's a lot of kind of moving parts there. So I think a lot of times when we see that, I don't think it's always on Rodgers to having to pick that up, or maybe somebody doesn't do the right adjustment on the route, etc. But I will say their ability as an offense and, by extension, Aaron Rodgers' ability to burn blitzes and to hit quick, hot routes, etc., whether it's a pop pass, a slant, what have you, certainly has diminished over the last few years. He's not as lethal as he once was. It used to be don't ever blitz Aaron Rodgers because he'll torch you. Now you blitz Aaron Rodgers, you got a decent chance. So, what does he have to do? Man, there's so much that goes into it. I wouldn't presume to sit here and say this is the ABCs of it, right? Now, you got to take into account he was in a brand new offense last year after 15 years in one system. There's always going to be a learning curve. Bakhtiari talked about that in his media availability earlier this offseason. It's a new system, new protections, a lot going on, a lot on your plate, especially a quarterback. So I think we will see an improvement there, but I would love to see the ability to really make people pay when they try and blitz. No doubt about it. When was the last time you sat in the bleachers at Lambeau for a game? It was Brett Favre's last game, the Sunday nighter against the Vikings, obviously, when they beat the Vikings. Desmond Bishop had the pick six, etc. That was the last time. That was there as a fan in the stands. Dan, good morning, Bilbo Naggins from Virginia. Well, hello from the Shire of Astoria, New York. Is Kiki going to be Clark's main running mate, or will it be Lancaster to start the season? I think whatever truncated version of camp we get will help determine that. I got to think they want to get Kiki on the field. He's got to prove it. I do think there's a chance that Trayvon Hester plays quite a little bit in the rotation early on. Vet guy, knows what's expected, knows how to be a pro, and has played pretty damn well in that role at his many stops in the league. So I don't know. I think it'll be a rotation at first, but I hope Kiki develops and, becomes that guy sooner rather than later. Shannon Sullivan, breakout year incoming. I talked him up yesterday. I really like the guy. I think he put a lot of good stuff on tape last year. I don't know if Packer fans obviously haven't forgotten about him, but I don't think they are really considering him when they talk about needing to bring back Tramon Williams, because I think Chandon can fill that role. Obviously, you love Tramon, everything he's done for the team, but you're getting better, you're getting worse, you're getting younger, you're getting older. Father Time is marching on. He is undefeated. And as I said yesterday, I think if they do suffer some injuries, Tramon will definitely get a call. But yeah, I think if we wouldn't, maybe not label it a breakout year, but I think you're going to see a lot of Chandon Sullivan. I think he's poised to do really good things in this defense. How are things looking for the Kettle? Oh, Stu, thank you so much for asking. Last I saw, they were hovering around 80,000 of their $100,000 goal. I'll probably have another push here to end the week, simply because now we've got the governor putting all sorts of new restrictions on bars. And I understand why, because people are congregating and no one's following social distancing across the city, etc. So I understand why he's doing it, but that is going to hurt the Kettle continuously, even more so than they already were. So anything you can do, I will, like I said, I'll put a push out again on Twitter and here online to end the week. James, thanks for the super chat. Summers makes the jump. Heard it here first. All right. First today, maybe, but 4,000 other people have said this. Yeah, I hope so. I'd love it. I would absolutely love it. You saw him sideline to sideline last year. The problem is he missed a lot of those tackles on one of those sidelines. Seemed like every other play was either a nice play, rangy, makes the tackle for minimal gain, or nice athleticism, gets into position to make the tackle, misses the tackle, ruptures for a big gain. Didn't seem to be much in between spots. But I hope you're right. I'm down for it. Key special teams contributor, which certainly helps his case. I disagree with ESPN that Packers have underachieved with Rodgers. 4 NFC Championship appearances in contention virtually every year. Can't ask for more than that. Oh, man, they're just embracing debate, trying to rile people up. Who cares? I mean, who cares what ESPN says? And look, you guys know my position. Anybody who's followed me for any length of time knows. I grew up in the 70s and 80s when they had no shot every single year. Fast forward to now, they have a shot every single year. I'll take it. I'm happy. You call it whatever you want. I'm down, man. Every Sunday, I know my team has a shot. Every year going into the season, I know we can contend. That's all I care about. I'm down, man. It's cool. Dustin, thanks for the super chat. How much of an increase in missed tackles will we see the first 4 weeks of the regular season with no preseason? Actually, I don't think that much. Maybe a bit. You're positing 25 or 50%. I think maybe like a 5, maybe 8%, something like that. A lot of that in the preseason is, look how many missed tackles the Packers had last preseason. And then they, for the most part, they cleaned it up week 1. I think a lot of that is the speed of the game, effort, etc. You're not going full out in the preseason, especially the vets. Now, some of the younger guys are, obviously, because they're trying to win a job. But I think there will be a little bit of that, but I don't think it'll be incredibly dramatic. Frank, thanks for the super chat. If Rodgers plays on par with his current abilities, do we see him for the 4th year of his deal, or is a trade almost inevitable if he doesn't ball out? I think a trade's inevitable even if he does ball out. I mean, by year 4, Love's on a 5-year deal, and he's the heir apparent. If they go to 2 Super Bowls, win them both, maybe he sticks around. But even then, you're going to get Love on the field eventually. That is going to happen. Will the wrongful vitriol for Ted ever stop? Jitsu? I doubt it. Frankly, anybody who hates on Ted, I summarily dismiss post haste. I got no time for it. Ted is the man. What is the coolest Packers artifact you've seen? The Pro Football Hall of Fame has the star jersey from the 96 season. Yeah, we have that picture here on the site. That is battered to shit. Really cool to see. That is very cool. I don't know, Packers. I was asked yesterday my favorite piece of Packers paraphernalia, which is the old school Packers ashtray that my grandma used to use. But as far as like a Packers artifact, something that was part of the team, I don't know. I mean, obviously the Lombardi trophies are amazing. You go to Lambeau, you can see those. I love being able to see Vince's desk and office in the Packers Hall of Fame. I mean, the whole Hall of Fame experience is incredible and highly recommended. Aaron Negler, who is the GOAT? I know who you think the GOAT is. That would be Jamal Williams. I'm not so sure I agree with your police work there, Big B, but hey, man, you do you. You do what you got to do. Joey, it's too late. Hi from Uruguay. What's up? How are you, Fernando? How you doing? Zimmer or Patricia, who you prefer to stay in their jobs for our benefit, of course? That's a tough one. Probably Zimmer. I mean, Patricia has coached pretty damn well against the Packers, actually. And I don't think he's a great head coach overall, but, he's done pretty damn well against Green Bay. So, yeah, get him out of there. But Zimmer, it's interesting, too, because you look at the job Patricia did last year. We've talked about it a lot. The Lions led every single second of the game except for when the clock hit 0, both times. Zimmer, got out-coached a little bit by his younger counterpart there in LaFleur. So maybe that changes, but yeah, let Zimmer stick around. Hello from Istanbul. What's up, Jake? What do you think the NFL should do to keep fans connected during training camp? Not giving fans any access seems ridiculous. Well, that's why they will be having, some media members available. There won't be any video of it, obviously, but I'll be there tweeting away, letting you guys know what's going on. So Cheesehead TV is my best answer. What could they do and more could they do? They could absolutely live stream practice, but that's never going to happen. But outside of that, I just, the NFL is allowing 2 events if they are properly socially distanced. I have no idea what that would be. We'll see if the Packers come up with something in that regard. But I mean, it's just unusual times. And I can't blame the Packers for, not allowing fans, even a smattering of them, because then how do you go about policing that? Right. And you got to deal with forget all that. They're already cutting off media members. I'm just grateful that I made the cut. So yeah, I think just keep it glued to Cheesehead TV, and we'll have every update of everything that goes on all throughout camp. James, thanks for the super chat. At least every team will be on the same level as the Pack when it comes to tackling at season kickoff. Now, come on now. I have a little optimism here. How much do you hate it when people discredit NFL championships over Super Bowls? Oh, again, this is just children, Like the Packers have 13 championships. Sorry, they exist. It happened. It's like saying Abraham Lincoln was never the president of the United States. Sorry. Facts are going to be ruining your thoughts here, but those are facts. Championships, 13. Look them up. They all happened. Not only the place for Packers content, but the best. Cheesehead TV. Like, share, subscribe. Nick Miller, thank you very much. Yes, please hit like, hit subscribe, because I got to go. But I'll be back at some point. Maybe later today if there's news coming out of Murphy's appearance after the shareholders meeting. If not, I'll be at trivia at 5:30 here with Perry on the YouTube channel. In the meantime, please hit like, hit subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family. Jitsu with a super chat at the last second. Thank you again for all that you do. Thank you so much. And for everybody making Cheesehead TV part of your Packers routine. I know there is a ton of content out there. There are a ton of ways for you to connect with your favorite team. I hope you connect through every method available to you. And it really means a lot to us that you utilize Cheesehead TV in any way, shape, or form in your connection with the Packers. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Go Pack, go.